I spend roughly $118 every month to create YouTube videos, and that's just on subscriptions alone. That's not including the price of the camera or the other accessories. And as of today, my channel is not monetized and I'm not making any money from YouTube. The return of investment is literally zero. So the $1 million question is, does it really make sense to spend this much money? Before I answer that, we will first look into which all subscriptions I use, and then we will come back to whether it's worth paying for them. Hey friends, my name is Srijit, and in this channel, we are all about practical tips to effectively manage your finances and achieve financial independence. For the ease of understanding, I'll categorize all my subscriptions based on the 3 stages of the content creation process: gather, create, and store. Every content I make begins with collecting ideas and doing further research on them. And my 3 most significant sources of information are books, blogs, and YouTube. Reading is one habit that can open up one's views and can make a big difference in a person's life. I read for 30 minutes daily, which has changed my life for the better. And for the most part of my reading, I use Kindle now because I can highlight specific areas for future reference, and ebooks naturally they result in fewer dead trees. Kindle Unlimited, which is like an online library for ebooks, costs $9.99 monthly, and you get access to the vast collection for a fraction of the cost of a physical copy. Do I really need a subscription to read on the Kindle? Probably not. But then having a subscription saves me that extra step of processing the payment and getting the book, making the whole process easier and faster. But there will be situations where reading an ebook or any physical book for that matter might not be feasible. For example, when you are driving or working out. But with audiobooks, you can listen to a book and do something else simultaneously. Truly speaking, I was a bit skeptical about using audiobooks at first, and I still use Kindle for the most part when it comes to non-fiction reading. But then, like in the situations which I mentioned earlier, audiobooks can come in handy. And the service which I use is Audible, which gets you 1 audiobook per month for around $7.95. But when it comes to video content, YouTube is my default go-to place. And last year, I took the premium subscription. And if you're wondering, who pays for YouTube? It's free. Trust me, it was a difficult decision for me to pay that $11.99 to get the premium service. But now, there is no going back. I consume a lot of content from other content creators on YouTube, and having an ad-free experience makes the whole thing pleasant and watchable. Now, all the content out there is not in the video format. A vast majority of useful information is written on websites, in articles and blogs. And I use a free service called Feedly to subscribe to RSS feeds from websites that I am interested in. But web articles need time and attention to read, and there would be cases where I am running short of both. That's why I use a Read It Later app called Instapaper that does a simple job. It lets you save web articles, download them to your phone, and then read them at your convenience in a friendly, minimalistic format. The service costs $2.99 monthly, and another cool thing about Instapaper is that it works seamlessly with my next paid service in the gather stage, Readwise. Readwise is my information collector. It doesn't matter how many books you read or how many YouTube videos you watch. These are only the first steps in a larger process where you capture the information. Ideally, you need a system for transforming what you read into meaningful action. You need a workflow, and that's what Readwise helps to bring. While reading a book on Kindle, if I find an interesting quote, I will highlight it. Then through the integration between Kindle and Readwise, it automatically ends up in my preferred note-taking app where I can decide what to do with this information. Readwise also has a daily review feature that helps you remember the ideas you read. They have a light version which is around $4.99, but I use a pro version which costs around $7.99. Now when we come to the actual process of creating the content, I am someone who writes down the whole script before I press the record button. And since I'm not a native English speaker, I of course do make a lot of mistakes while writing. And Grammarly helps me correct them and make my writing clear and effective. It reviews spelling, grammar punctuation, clarity, engagement, and delivery mistakes. And a monthly subscription to Grammarly costs around $30. If there is one tool that I would recommend to every content creator, that would be Canva. Canva revolutionized the content creation space by giving users access to a host of design tools and millions of graphics, photos, and videos for a minimal monthly fee. I use Canva for designing all of my Insta content and YouTube thumbnails. The features are effortless to use even if you don't have any graphic design skills, and the monthly subscription costs around $2.99. I am an Apple fanboy, and I use Apple tools as much as possible because of how efficient they are and how well they integrate with the whole ecosystem. That's the reason why I use Final Cut Pro to edit my videos instead of the more popular Adobe Premiere. But when it comes to editing photos, Adobe still rules the space. So I use the Creative Cloud subscription that includes the two most popular photo editing tools from Adobe, Photoshop and Lightroom. Although I don't take many photos as of now other than for the YouTube thumbnails, this is one service that I intend to use more in the future, and the subscription costs around $9.99 per month. Now, making the YouTube content engaging with stock videos and sound effects is as important as the content itself. And two services that help me notch up my editing are Motion Array, my one-stop shop for stock video graphics and sound effects, and Artlist, where I get the soft, gentle music you hear now in the video's background. A monthly subscription to Motion Array costs around $29.99 and Artlist costs around $14.99. Now, when it comes to the final stage of the content creation process, I have only one subscription service that helps me back up and share my content. There are many good cloud storage options available out there, but I settled on the solution from Google because of the reasonable price and ease of use. The service costs $9.99 for a 2 TB storage, and that gets the final total to $118. Now, the actual value may be a bit lesser than that because some of these services I pay with the annual subscription, which is a bit cheaper. Still, spending around $100 a month on a YouTube channel that's not creating any revenue may seem like a bad idea. But I don't regret it a bit because I love the whole content creation process, and these tools help to make that easy, efficient and stressless. I am of the personal opinion that if something brings more value to my life, saves me time and effort, then it's worth paying for that. You can find links to all these services in the description below. This was a bit different from the type of videos I normally make, so I hope you liked it. And if you have any questions about any of this, you can write down in the comment section below. I will reply to each one of them. If any one of you is interested to know why I am on YouTube, then you can watch this video. Until I see you in another video, take care and have a wonderful rest of the day.